Couple other little updates on this little car. I need to replace the alternator. I smelled a burning smell and I was feeling around down here and the alternator immediately burnt my hand, and I found it was running at 300 degrees. So I have another one on the way. I took that alternator out and it spins smoothly, so it's not the bearings, it's an electrical thing. I drove this for like 2 hours in wet conditions without the splash shield that goes on the bottom. So I don't know if that could be why, like maybe water got in there and ruined it. I have the battery disconnected, so I have to do this to get into the trunk. And I'm going to replace the timing chain tensioner. Once the engine was warm and I drove around and I shut the engine off and then turned the engine back on to go drive again, I would get the timing chain death rattle. So I immediately changed the oil, first of all, and secondly, I'm gonna replace this, and hopefully this fixes that problem. This is a hydraulic tensioner. It runs off of oil pressure, so these things can stick. It's probably a good guess that the one that's in there is the original one. About 150,000 miles, and that's about when they fail, I've read. I also replaced that coolant tank a while ago because originally the cap was leaking. It wasn't holding pressure, so I got a new cap. And once it held pressure, the old tank started leaking from this seam. It's like, of course, one thing after the other. Friggin' chain reaction. Slowly getting sorted out. I also had one little nick in one of the heater hose lines down there, so I fixed that. Now the bottom of this car is bone dry, finally. It's pretty amazing to look under there and not see any leaks, and to be able to actually work on it and not have 3 pounds of grease on my hands afterwards. Anyway,